government and opposition. We say to them that when anything comes along that requires us to compromise our fear of God, our heritage, it must not be accepted. We do understand that there are some necessary ills, but too often we are asked to bow to so many gods, especially the god of tourism. The truth is, friends, Satan has a plan. His plan is to steal, to kill, and destroy. That's systematic. That's subtle. That's well planned. And he well executes his plan. We are witnessing this in the blatant disobedience to our laws of the TCI. For we were an law-obeying people. And this is passed on to us. What is happening in our country today is wrong. There is an erosion of who we are as a people. We were a law-abiding people. In the past, we had fewer police officers with fewer resources, but yet they kept respect in our various communities. A police with a gun was a rarity. Now it's a necessity. We used to leave our doors open and our windows unlocked, and we could walk in any part of any of our islands without fear. That's no longer the case. When we spoke out a few weeks ago about returning to sanctity to Sunday, many persons misunderstood what we were trying to achieve. Persons offered philosophical rhetoric. Some used as an opportunity to evangelize. Although it had an immediate impact on a specific group of persons, it was not intended for a particular nationality. It had a greater purpose. It was a call for us to wake up as a people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. For us as Turks and Caicos Islanders to realize how far we have strayed from what has been passed on to us. In case we didn't realize, we must realize now that we live in a TCI where assassinations are commonplace in our beloved country. We live in the Turks and Caicos Islands where young men are stabbed and shot to death on a regular basis. That armed robberies have now increased in our beloved TCI. Home invasions are on a rise. Homes of pastors that once was thought to be off limits are now targeted. Churches are vandalized. Children are raped. Elderly are raped. This was not passed on to us in the Turks and Caicos Islands. This is where we have moved the TCI to. And this was a clarion call for all of us to wake up and to take stock. I'm a firm believer that you must bend the tree while it's young. That we must crack down on the little delinquencies of our country so that there will be no need to fight the bigger illegalities later on in the TCI. You must know that while the TripAdvisor sees us as the best island in the whole wide world, and I agree with them, I want to impress on your hearts and your minds today that hoodlums and hooligans also see us as the best island in the whole wide world. But they see it for a wrong reason. They see opportunities to pillage the people. They see opportunities to rape the land. They see opportunities to hide behind this wonderful accolade that's been passed on to us. I believe that a word to the efficient, word to the wise is sufficient. We were a proud people in the Turks and Caicos Islands. We were a people who were proud to be called Turks and Caicos Islanders. Growing up in Grand Turk, there was a sense of pride that saturated the community. While our history has its share of challenges and dark moments, the same history simultaneously gives us a great reason to be proud as a people. We are arguably the site of Christopher Columbus' first landfall to the Western world. When John Glenn made his historic flight into outer space, he landed here. The Bahamian historian Dr. Gail Saunders re-echoes the words of the Methodist minister stationed in Grand Turk, where she notes that the first recorded junking experience did not take place in Nassau nor Freeport, but took place here on Boxing Day in Grand Turk. So there is a sense of pride. And this sense of pride was demonstrated in the behavior of the residents. Residents who rose early in the morning and swept before their doorsteps, swept before their yards. They didn't pay anyone to do so. They did it themselves because it was a sense of pride. When we traveled to Miami, we dressed up and put on our Sunday best. You remember that? And when we came back, we looked even better than we did when we went out. We did this because there was a sense of pride. It was a standard that we had to keep. We tried to be good ambassadors of our country. This pride must continue. Our parents and grandparents used to inquire about other people. We celebrated when other people, children did well. We asked out of concern and care for our neighbors how they were doing. We knew that as long as all were not well, all was not well. This, my friends, is true national pride. Today, throughout the TCI, particularly in Providenciales, persons will be encouraged to raise their TCI flags high. But we must remember that while this is good, pride goes deeper than just raising a flag. You see, for too many of us, we raise our flags high, but at the same time, we keep fellow Turks and Caicos Islanders as low as possible. For too many of us, we ensure that upward mobility is only for a select few. We are adverse when it comes to celebrating the wholesome success of our own people. This is because for too many of us, we operate out of the spirit of envy and malice toward each other. We blame the British, we blame those who've come in to be with us for hindering the success of our people. But I say to us today, if we were to look a little closer, we would see that the true culprits of this thing, the true culprits of our hindrance, is us. We are our biggest obstacle. We keep each other back and hold each other down. As a people, we must never be found guilty of basing our decisions to promote fellow TC Islanders based on which island we are from. We must not seek to promote them based on which party they are affiliated with. We must never seek to promote fellow TC Islanders based on what religious persuasion that person is affiliated with. These influences ought never usher a person up the ladder of success. Rather, it must be based on one's performance, not someone's preference.